All right, man. Welcome to Pro Conversations podcast, where we discuss the pros and cons of professional sports. I'm your co-host, I Love You, Jace.
And I'm your co-host Mook, and this is episode 0. Let's get started. So, what's your quick thoughts on the NBA Finals, Jay?
Shit, I don't even know where to start, man. To me, it was unexpected. I mean, we start off there. It was very unexpected. I know everybody's gonna say, "Okay, see, 168 games. Why do why didn't you expect them to be there?" Well, first off, they're young as hell. They're one of the youngest teams to win a championship since the Trailblazers, I believe, in '77. Don't quote me on that. I probably can look that up, but I believe, yeah, it's Trailblazers in '77. Who the hell remember who was on that team besides I think Bill Walton was on that squad. Like that's insane. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming at all. But shout out to SGA, shout out to Chet, shout out to them boys. Congratulations to them. On the other side of things, I definitely didn't see the Pacers coming, especially after what I saw last year. So I was on the bandwagon. I was watching the same thing, but I was watching with a little bit more depth. Like they did play teams that had injured superstars on them. Like you didn't have Giannis and Dame. You went against the Knicks, but Brunson went down with the hand. OG went down. Julius Randle ain't play at all. Mitchell Robinson went down. Like it was a bunch of stuff that went wrong to where they kind of you play who on the court. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you play who on the court.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they didn't really had no competition. This year they had competition and the motherfuckers showed out. Like Tyrese specifically, but Naismith, Nemhard, fucking Obi Toppin. Like I know the Knicks fans is hurting seeing how Obi Toppin showed out these playoffs, bro. Not even like this whole season, yeah, he been doing great, but these playoffs when these moments mattered, like one of the things that's probably ringing off his motherfucker's ear is Toppin from three. Like fuck no, that's not something a Knicks fan would have ever thought they would have heard like in a clutch moment coming out of Mike Breen mouth of anybody. Like a bang from Obi Toppin? Fuck no, bro. That's crazy work. But yeah, I definitely thought the Nuggets would have been here. Like they had them on, they had KC on the ropes. Timberwolves, that whole Ant situation and this that, and third, definitely thought they had them. Like I said, the Knicks again. If they don't lose game one, there's no telling what it'd be. But yeah, like I said, my quick thoughts was unexpected. Definitely was still surprised at how this all ended, like especially with it going 7 games. I did think it was going to be competitive going in, but I didn't know how it was going to shake out. I didn't know it was going to be different. Even when Halliburton went down, it still was going shot for shot. I didn't see Game 7 being the most watched NBA Finals game in the past 6 years. That was crazy to me too. Like really insane. I don't lie, especially with that whole consensus that two small market teams, nobody want to see that shit, and it definitely was like the exact opposite. But yeah, that's all I got. On my quick thoughts. What about you?
Yeah, most definitely. Most of the same, like we talked about our playoffs. Didn't expect the Pacers to be there, of course, and also didn't expect the Thunder, even though, like you said, they end up winning the 68 games. It's just not expected from a team that's that young. Like who on that team over damn 30?
Yeah, Paulo Caruso ball there. That's like the
You know
only
what I'm
person,
saying?
maybe.
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you actually got serious and think about it. Like, damn, they ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was definitely expecting the Timberwolves was my team to come out the West, so I was definitely I definitely expected them to go all the way. But like we seen, the Thunder definitely outplayed them. Even though, like you said, the whole Ant thing, with that going on, you can say that with almost every series. You know what I'm saying? There's almost a key factor that happened in every series, and it's been like that for almost the past couple playoffs since I say since the whole Giannis, Kyrie, that whole it's there's been something that if you go back on their finals, you could be like, oh well, he was injured when they, but that's a
Mm-hmm.
whole different for another day. But yeah, like you said, didn't expect these two young teams to be in the finals together, and didn't expect it to go the way that it did. The whole 7, how dramatic it was with the whole, of course, Tyrese unfortunately going down in that game 7 when he was 3 for 4, 9 points
Mm-hmm.
on a little hot streak. You know what I'm saying? Looking like that was gonna be one of the games he dropped by 30 and 15. He ended up going out, and the Thunder ended up winning. So of course that's gonna always be a
Very reminiscent of KD in that game in 2019. Came out hot,
yeah.
splashing from three. That goddamn Achilles, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's unfortunate to see that's the worst part of the game that we hate to see. But yeah, those were definitely my quick thoughts on the NBA Finals.
I mean, shit. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, with Halliburton, goddamn. Like, I kind of alluded to, like, same thing with Dame. Like, I was really excited to see how the Bucks was gonna work out. Like, especially this go around, because if you watch the Bucks throughout this season, Giannis was playing some of the best basketball he's ever played in his career, especially from mid range. Like, he became one of the best mid range shooters in the fucking league. Like, that is crazy. We used to call this man Run Dunk Man, and he over there hitting more mid ranges than fucking. Well, I ain't gonna say more than, but like being efficient, like as a KD, as a Kawhi, as a LeBron, as you know what I'm saying? Like that's insane. And we gave this man so much crap, and he's been elevating his game bit by bit. The way him and Dame started to play, like before the injury, like you could see the chemistry was there, the pick and roll was there, the camaraderie was there. So I was really looking forward to seeing that on the floor, especially for the playoffs. But you know, Dame unfortunately went down with the blood clots. Come back, Achilles, like that's unfortunate. The roll off of that, like I also was looking forward to see if the Celtics was real. You know, a lot of people were saying they didn't believe the Celtics. They needed another championship to really solidify themselves as one of the best teams ever. Because you know everybody keep bringing up that damn '08 team. Not to say that they're bad or anything, but the Celtics have been like the only team I've seen gravitate towards that one championship. You would think it's their only championship. Like Larry Bird and them didn't exist or something. Like you would think that's the only chip that they have ever won on that goddamn team. The way they used to talk about it. But then they got that one, so it's like, what can make them better than that team is if they did it twice. And unfortunately, they wasn't able to do that. With JT going down with his injury, this shit really sad, you know. Really hate to see that happen in the game. You know, I've been seeing them say some talks about, you know, probably shortening the season. I wouldn't agree with that. I mean, at the same time, the shortened season was one of the best seasons we've seen. Like when the Heat and them, what the fuck that was? The whole lockdown, yeah, the whole lockdown shit. Like those have been some good seasons. Like niggas, you know, niggas have went crazy, but like I don't think that's necessarily the answer. How you feel about that shit?
Yeah, and just to backpedal off that, like you saying, like I get it, but it's also like why change it now? Like, you know, there hasn't been injuries in the game, you know what I'm saying, that has been part of the game. But like you said, like we got some of the best ball when that whole little lockout happened. They ain't hoop for what month two, I wanna say.
Yeah, it was only about a month or
And
two. They shaved about 20 games off the damn schedule.
and that was, you know, that was a crazy season, crazy finals. You know, we got well, let me rephrase that. We got a crazy regular season, crazy playoffs, then crazy finals. Like it might benefit the game then, not that with all the stars that we have in today's game, it might go even crazier, and we might be able to actually see these superstars, you know, all play together on these teams. Like even just to go back to the 19 Nets with Kyrie, KD, James Harden. Like what if it was a short season and that don't happen to James Harden? You know, KD, you know what I'm saying, with KD getting injured as much as he does and doesn't play as many games as he used to following the Achilles tear. It's just like we can definitely use it, but is there really a need to change it? We got to go into the two best and worst games. But I slipped on okay.
What did you, to circle back around to the finals? Like, what did you feel like was some of the best games or the worst games? Did you have any best or worst games that you saw?
What was it? Me and you talked about it. Let me start over. I think it was it game 3, Knicks and Pacers?
It might have
I
been
want to
game
say
3.
I want to.
Shit, look it up real quick.
Okay. No,
All right,
I can do it over again. I'm just finna. Hold on. Two best and worst games.
Alright, bro. I gotta pause.
Alright, wait. Don't pause it. Don't pause. God, that's why I said you might not want to. Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday has been traded to the Portland Trail Blazers for Anthony Simmons and 2 second-round picks.
That is fucking stupid.
Why you say it back?
He been on Portland. That's how he got the Celtics.
Yeah, he was on Portland for like what was it?
Milwaukee.
It was either
It
like a
was
day
like
or
two
a month.
days.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
so he went. It went from Milwaukee. They traded him over there, and that's how Celtics wound up getting rid of goddamn what's bro name Rod Williams. That's how Rod Williams went up on the Trailblazers.
Okay.
Rod Williams and goddamn what's
Okay,
buddy
yeah.
name,
Fuck.
bro? Point guard.
From the Celtics?
Yeah.
Who was in that trade? They traded him with Malcolm Brogdon.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Michael Brogdon. He called that nigga the president. We call that nigga Barack Obama and shit. They
Okay.
trade that nigga over there. That was crazy, y'all. So breaking news right in the middle of the goddamn first episode. We just got another trade. We're gonna talk about the KD to Houston Rockets trade. We just heard Drew Holiday has been traded back to the Trailblazers once again for Anthony Simmons and
I think he said 2 seconds.
something like that. We have to get into the pick talk, but what's your thoughts on that? With this new trade that just came out of nowhere. Like, that's insane.
Why? Like, I don't get it. Like, in all seriousness, like, if I'm somebody who's contending for the championship, like, I want my team to go on to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why would I get rid of my best defender? A key part of why we just went last year. Why would I? Talk to me, please.
So the thing I've been hearing, this trade itself for the player that they got is surprising to me, but them trading Drew Holiday is not surprising to me. They've been talking about this moment since they put this team together. The way the CBA and all that shit has been stacked up, and that mark of money they can't go over without getting fined and getting locked in, and they can't pick up certain wave players, making a certain amount of money before they got waived and all of that. The second apron, they've been talking about this for the longest, who they was going to trade. And at first, I thought it would have been Derek White or JB, but being that JT just got injured, them not the two to trade. Your two to trade is going to be KP or Drew. If you really being realistic, you don't know if Al Horford going to stay or not. So why would you trade KP? Keep KP, let him stay in that Al Horford spot, let him be the vet, let him be the shot blocking 3-point shooter, big that you got. Yeah. Drew Holiday, he's still good, he still could fit to that system, but he's getting older. And he's owed a lot of money, to be honest with you. It's like, to a lesser degree, like Chris Paul situation. Like, he's on the Suns, like, or he was on the Rockets, let's say. He was on the Rockets. So the best time to trade him would have been this season. Don't wait until next season and you see the drop off in numbers or whatever. It might not even be a drop off from him as a player, but just the outlook on it, or just a visual of that. You know what I'm saying? It looks bad. Like, people used to think CP was washed until they got the OKC, and then showed he was not fucking washed. Like, nigga took a team that had 1.2% of making it to the fucking playoffs and took them to the playoffs at the 5th seed. Like, that's crazy. Not saying Drew finna do that. I don't know what the fuck Drew finna do. I don't even know what the plan is. Like, trade him back to the Trailblazers is crazy. Like, I know he gotta be pissed unless they got something else. Cause he wasn't pissed when they got to Milwaukee, when Milwaukee traded him. He knew something else was finna come. So I don't know. We'll get back into it. Like, once we get more details, start monitoring Shams and all that. But definitely unexpected trade, especially as far as the timing. But for me, just not surprising, just who they traded for. How do you think Anthony Simmons fits into the system? Like, I kind of got an idea, but I want you to go ahead.
I mean, truthfully, I just have him as a spark plug off the bench, like a Jordan Clarkson. Like, you come in, go. Like, to be honest with you, like, before I say this, I'm not trying to hold nobody on the Celtics roster before I say this, but yeah, with Drew going, like, that's who I would want to initiate my second team offense. Yeah, like, and I don't have no problem with it. Because he a starter right now, and if I'm not mistaken, he averaged, I'm going to just say 20 plus. So it's like, he's definitely capable. We just seen, he's capable of scoring, and we're not talking about like a Bones Highland. He able to score at an elite level. No, because that's my boy. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like the way they're doing right now, but just, we didn't actually see him like be the number one and it actually be like, oh, damn, like we got a game plan for this young man, you know, like, or he just not one of these average little players, you know what I'm saying? So with
Yeah.
him coming off a bench, I would definitely see it as a, you know, a little spark plug, if you would say. How about yourself?
Shit. Before I get in that, I would love to see Bones Highland and Bowl on a less talented team, and they do that nigga cuz offense. Like that'll be crazy. I would love to see the league try to guard that shit. I ain't gonna cap. Bones Highland passing that bitch to Bowl and to do that nigga cuz offense. That's insane. But anyway, me, I feel like they going back to their same shit they used to be on. That IT4, that Kyrie, that Kemba Walker, starting scoring point guard shit. And that is not the formula for this team. We've seen that multiple times. And the other formula they came up with was running Marcus Smart at the one. That's not the formula for this team either. They're having just a defensive guard that can pass. You kind of had a balance of both with Drew Holiday. My idea, my process would have been to try to find somebody that plays similar to that. To me, somebody that would play kind of similar to that, but not really the same size, would have been like a De'Aaron Fox. But obviously, you can't get De'Aaron Fox. I don't know. Like, I don't know who you could say be similar to Drew Holiday. You can't really replace everything Drew Holiday does, but you could have got somebody close to that type of player that's good on both sides of the ball. You could have went and got Chris Paul for all that. You know what I'm saying? To me, you could have ran him on the bench if you wanted to, and that would have been efficient as fuck. But mind you, I know Chris Paul doesn't want to necessarily be on that side of town. I've been hearing rumors and seeing him discuss himself that he would rather be in LA if he don't wind up retiring. He just ain't lived with his kids because they stayed in LA, even though he's went to Houston, went to Phoenix, went to Golden State, went to OKC. Like, he didn't went all these different places. They have stayed in LA the whole time because he ain't been moving them around. And I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, Dad had to move around a lot and go to all these different schools and all that other shit. Kind of, I don't know. Like, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Like, you don't really have. You feel like you don't really got no roots for real. Like, yeah, like, to me, I feel like they're going back to the old formula. It remains to be seen how this shit unfolds, to be honest with you. We didn't even get into the next season yet, and it's already shaking up pretty wild. Would you like to go ahead and start talking about the KD trade? Because the KD trade is interesting too, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, since we on the topic of, you know, recent trades, we might as well, you know, go ahead and brush over it. So KD was, after I'm done talking, I'm gonna look up the you know, word for word what got exchanged in that trade. But for the most part, we know what KD for Jalen Green,
I know
Dylan
it off
Brooks.
top.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
So it's KD for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, 5 second rounders, and the first number one, the 10th pick overall.
In the first round.
Yeah, in the first round.
Yeah. So with that being said, they traded all that for KD. Is the, I guess we could say, like, the narrative that's over the trade right now. Like, they just gave up this young player who we could develop into a superstar. We just gave him up for this 38-year-old man. As they are, I'm using their words. These not my words. Now these Twitter and, you know, every outlet word. That's what they just traded for. So, but in all honesty, but how I actually feel about it, I mean, what the hell did we just? Don't get wrong. I do think it's some more things that needs to happen with this Houston roster, in my opinion. Because don't get me wrong, in the playoffs we seen, like, damn, y'all can't score. Like, that was the problem. Don't get me wrong, and y'all feel that with somebody who just came off average of 27. But it's also like that second man in charge still damn Fred VanVleet and who else out there? I can't think, the Thompson twin, Sengun. They just re-signed Steven Adams, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
big move, by the way. Big
most
move.
definitely.
Especially you watching playoffs.
Most definitely. But
I know you was. I'm talking about, you know.
in my opinion, Houston won, depending on what they, you know what I'm saying, what further moves they make in this free agency, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever in the future, you know what I'm saying, whether it's damn right before the trade deadline, you know what I'm saying, before All-Star break and all that, depending on what they do. Don't get me wrong. But as of right now, I think the Rockets won that trade. But how you feel about it?
I feel like the Rockets won the trade too. You really didn't That's kind of crazy to say. But I feel like you didn't give up much. Like, okay, yeah, you gave up Dylan Brooks, you gave up Jalen Green, they were both integral parts of how they became the second seed, but you also didn't give up Jabari Smith Jr. You also didn't give up the Thompson twin. You also didn't give up Şengün. You also didn't give up Van Fleet. Like, you still kept a lot of that core within that team. And you gave up 5 second rounders. Like, yes, I'm aware that second rounders can become legendary players. Like, we've seen it happen. Like, IT4 was the last pick of the fucking draft, and we seen what IT4 put up. Like, the boy was fourth in that MVP votes. Like, before the injury and all that shit. So, if I'm not mistaken, nah, he wasn't. Jimmy Butler was second round. Motherfuckers go undrafted and wind up being like superstars. Fucking Van Fleet himself was undrafted and was scoring buckets on Steph Curry in the finals. So yeah, I feel like the Rockets definitely won that trade. That's something. If you watch those games, like when they got in the playoffs, they needed that score. We thought it was going to be Jalen. It was Jalen for one game. After that, they couldn't find. Van Fleet was showing up too, but Van Fleet probably the same height, bro. Hey, what are we talking about, bro? We both 6 feet. You up it with all the goddamn tall ass players and shit. He's older. I ain't gonna say like he's like Brunson. Me and Brunson probably the same height. Different styles of play. Younger player, less injury history. This, that, and third. But like, you need somebody like KD on this team. And they've been saying this for the longest. I've been saying this for the longest. I would have loved to see KD in Miami. I feel like that would have been cool. At the same time, kind of weird because you did, your first time in the finals, you wound up losing to them. So it would have been kind of crazy. You would have won with them. But at the same time, Rondo got a ring with the Lakers and the Celtics. So, I mean, it wouldn't have been that weird. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's no telling where that would have went. But as far as what actually happened, yeah. Do you feel like the Suns retain Jalen Green, or are they flipping him? Because that's something I've been asked multiple times. I feel like he's gonna flip him, but how do you feel?
Yeah, same. Cause I just seen like a little. Now I don't know how true it is. So I have to go take a look myself. But it's a screenshot like of their depth chart right now, and it's nothing but guards. Like, so it's Jalen Green, Devin Booker,
Royce O'Neal, and Nick Richards. Only thing to add on that.
Okay. So they didn't have Nick Richards and Royce O'Neal.
That's literally everything else you saw was legit though.
Yeah. Okay. So
I saw the same thing.
So yeah, I definitely think, cause I mean, in my opinion, I like Jalen Green. Like, I always liked the game since high school. You know what I'm saying? But I also always, as of right now in his career, he could always go on to pan out to be that. I just don't think he's a number one option as of right now, especially going into the playoffs. In my opinion, if he's a second, third option, depending on who's at first, I ain't gonna lie. I think he's more than a solid player. So I definitely think that they get him and trade him somewhere and then try to, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know what the Suns doing right now. So I can't even be like, I hope they trade him and get this with their team, because as we just said, they got a power forward, a small forward, and the rest are guards. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of shit they need. And there's a lot of shit on that team right now that they clearly need to get rid of, that they have an overhaul of. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but how do you feel about it? Like, do you think they're gonna trade him off? Or?
I feel like they're gonna trade him, but I have no clue, honestly, where he fits. Like, with that style of play, like one of the teams I had thought about would have been the Grizzlies, but at the same time, it's like if he continues the trend that he's on right now, he's pretty much, I ain't gonna say he's doing the same exact thing Ja is doing, but Ja needs somebody that can go, just like he had with Desmond Bain, if somebody's gonna shoot that ball, space the floor, take more of the pressure off of him, at least the playmaking ability off of him, something, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else that he can trust with that ball, that can create for others and create for themselves. If you can't do that, then I don't know. Like, I literally don't have, in my mind right now, I literally don't have the mind of where he could go. But one thing that I had started to see was that they have started back talking to Bradley Beal. I don't know how true that is, but they started back trying to talk to Bradley Beal about trying to get him moved out of there. But before that, there were reports that Bradley Beal would possibly be playing quote unquote better, and they would try to see him playing quote unquote better with the removal of KD because of the ball. But that sounds crazy to me because honestly, when you look at KD and on these teams, he's not a player that necessarily needs the ball in his hand all the time. Like, he's a plug and play player. So you being not able to play with him, you know what I'm saying, play your natural style, whatever the case may be, shows more about you as a player, more so than it says about KD. You know what I'm saying? If those reports are true. But I've been seeing it from multiple sources. But yeah, I don't feel like they're gonna keep him. It doesn't make sense. Nobody's trying to see fucking Dragic, Bledsoe, and IT4 again. Like nobody wants to see that. Trust me, nobody wants to see that. Like the Suns have been through enough. The Suns have been through enough. They got one great, amazing season. They make it to the finals for the second time they existence. They haven't been back since the Barkley days, and he ran into Jordan. Shit,
Yeah,
so this is fucking crazy odds. You run into Jordan and fucking Giannis, like nasty work.
most definitely. That's why that
But since
man,
we,
what Sir Charles, man. Oh,
but shit, we talking about they got the finals, like all this shit going on, like the teams and all this player movement. With us having free agency coming up next week, and by the time y'all probably see this, yeah, it'll be next week. Do you feel like OKC will repeat, or do you feel like that's like it's too early to tell? Like too many chips is on the table and ain't got placed where they need to get placed. Like, how do you feel?
yeah, I gotta take another look, but if I'm not mistaken, like it's a lot of players in this free agency pool this year. So like, I think it's hard to say like as of right now, do they, you know what I'm saying, repeat just because of the fact like we don't like I ain't gonna lie, I've been saying this all season since it happened. Since that damn Luka trade, bro, I don't know what the hell to expect. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like you just said, like you was just surprised with the Drew Holiday, and I don't know what the hell. And then with just to add on to that, free agents, like I don't know who they end up trading, end up trying to make their sales better. Like we don't know if you know what I'm saying in the future that ends up hurting them. Like as of right now, now if it stay the same for the most part, I ain't gonna lie
Mm,
to you. I would still have to go with Ant-Man though, depending on who they retain, because I think
mm,
Nas Reed, he gonna be one of the free agents. So depending on what they, you know what I'm saying,
lock that motherfucker
it's
in.
it's a lot of what else. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what's about to happen in these next what couple weeks, like you said. Like
Mm-hmm.
free agents start next week, so
Yeah.
it ain't no telling. But how you feel about it as of right now?
I feel like it's way too early to tell. I mean, we just seen that with the Celtics kept everybody together, and look what happened. Like some stuff is just out of your control. I feel like there's going to be a lot more freshness onto to the teams that are going to be winning. Like I feel like we got spoiled. LeBron spoiled us. Everybody talk about how Steph Curry ruined the game and all that with the shooting and this and third, but nobody talks about LeBron anymore making it to 8 straight finals and how rare that is. Like that's probably never gonna happen again. The even and go back to Steph Curry and them going back and forth in the finals as well. They went to what 4 straight. That's not gonna happen again. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Like it's so players is only getting better. Like look at Wemby. Like you got motherfuckers that's 7'5", 7'6", guard moves, pulling up from half court. Like there's only going to be more of that happening. Whether they born here, they born over there, they born over. There's going to be more and more of that going down. More
Because just
Austin
to
Reed. What?
real fast,
What's up?
I don't know if you know, but I just seen a post. You know, Nikola Topic
Heard about him. You talking about
got a ring
and
because
yeah, he's the
OKC just
first
won.
player to win a ring and not even play an NBA game.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah, like,
insane, bro.
and crazy, bro. But yeah, you keep on going.
Man, yeah, I feel like we got spoiled, man. I don't. The way the league is going right now, I feel like it's gonna be a new champion down there every year. It's getting harder and harder to repeat. The big three is necessarily a way to win because I feel like the past few years it hasn't necessarily been a big three. It's been like a great team. It's been great teams going on. Like
Yeah,
it ain't just three motherfuckers going. We just seen that. Like if we go back to KD, mind you, there were injuries in that, but had they had more players besides that big three, they probably still would have, went further than what they did, relying on the services of Joe Harris and Blake Griffin, who just came from the Detroit Pistons after they didn't broke his
Yeah,
back for two
Mike
for 2 years.
James,
Mike
Jeff
James,
Green.
of all people, like Jeff Green being your second best player is dangerous. What are we
Crazy.
doing? I love Jeff Green. Is amazing. One of the best stories in sports history. But Jeff Green being your second best player is insane to me. That cannot happen. So, to be honest, with that same logic, they do have one of the best teams. So, I don't know. I don't think they repeat. There's too much going on. There's a lot of movement going on. How do you feel about the East, though? Because with Tyrese out, we were talking about earlier, we got Tyrese out, you got Tatum out, you got Dame out. Magic just made that trade for Desmond Bain. We can get into that. How do you feel about the East being like wide open as it's been in years?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I mean, to be honest, just looking at it, like you just said, it's wide open. And you just named the top, what, three teams in the East with the injuries. Well, the Pacers were fourth, I think. That's a top team just in general. Don't get me wrong, like we saying, it's too early to predict, you know what I'm saying? But it's just wide open for the Knicks right now. And I just feel like there is no way in hell they don't capture this because we'll get into it. But even with the Magic and Desmond Bain, that shit don't phase the Knicks. Like that doesn't move with it. Yeah, that probably move with a team like maybe probably like the damn Cavs or something with how you know what I'm saying. But even with the Cavs, like that whole Darius Garland, that's something that we get into. The whole Darius Garland, like he was actually really injured during that series, and now he might have to sit out. I think like a couple months, if I'm mistaken, from that whole
Mm,
injury. Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I said, something we get into later. But
Mm.
there's just no way the Knicks don't do it because with Tyrese being out, I feel like that's just room for teams like the Raptors just to sneak up there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
how the hell I'm calling it right now? The Knicks losing to the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? Like or is this team losing to the Magic?
Yeah.
Let's just, you know what I'm saying? Let's just be,
Keep
there's
it a
no way.
buck.
Unless, you know what I'm saying? Until a superstar, you know what I'm saying, spawns to one of those Eastern teams that we talking about right now, or even one of the injured ones, I don't know how the niggas don't do it. I mean, the Celtics, you know what I'm saying? That might still come with a punch, you know what I'm saying? But how do you feel about it?
My whole thing, like with the Knicks, it's still that head coaching spot missing, and Dolan's back. Dolan been working on that damn spear, so he ain't been worried about the team. You see, they've been like chilling. I ain't gonna say they've been chilling, but it's been a different atmosphere about these Knicks teams. Like you forget that any of that shit even was going on. Like it really felt like a legit squad. Like it really felt like a real thing. Like KD possibly would have went there in your head until you seen like he don't say like hell no, I'm not doing it. I'm a net nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm a net for life, bro. You like oh yeah, Knicks got too much shit going on. There's no telling if they even retain Cat. Do they see the value of Mitchell Robinson, or is it going to be a time that they trade him before he gets injured again? Not to put that on him, I'm just going off the history. Similar to like an AD. Do they pay Mikal Bridges, even though he started off the season the way he did, and then like you see in the playoffs, he just I don't know. They haven't figured it out yet, and I feel like a head coach that whoever they hired their head coach position can either make or break them. With the Cavs, they've definitely played better defensively without Garland, but that's no not the Garland at all. You know what I'm saying? He does the best he can at his ability. You know what I'm saying, for his size or whatever. He definitely can do better, but like you know what I'm saying, that's just how the shit is. I would have loved to see Allen, develop this offense a little bit more, and I definitely thought Mobley would have been I ain't gonna say Giannis level, but somewhere close to that by now. Probably will be next season. He continue his growth. From there, that's pretty much it. Like I just see those teams right there. I don't believe in the Magic. Not to say that I believe the ass. They're definitely up and coming. Desmond Bain didn't really move the needle for me. He's a great shooter. He can get to the paint. With Ja being out, he did kind of benefit from that. Like him having more responsibility and having more of a chance to develop, certain things. But like when we see in the playoffs, like he's still not a natural passer. He's somebody that knows how to do it. He's gotten kind of a feel for it, but he it's not something that comes second nature to him. So I don't even know how that starting lineup's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Does Wagner continue to grow alongside Paulo? Because like when you see these playoffs, it's like Wagner is a little, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't, and Paulo, yeah. Paulo, I don't know what he doing, but I'm here, bro. Fuck that. Yeah, give me the ball. I don't know what the fuck. I would hope all of the fans in Miami hope as well that Pat Riley got some up his sleeve, sitting up there talking about, oh, I can't get rid of Cam Whitmore. I mean, not Cam Whitmore, but Haywood and goddamn the other young Nicola and goddamn Khalil Ware, or what is the 20th pick? Like whatever you talk, I can't move that for KD. And you didn't miss out on Dame. You didn't miss out on KD 3 times. You didn't miss out on Kyrie 2 times. You didn't miss out on Westbrook. You didn't miss out on Harden. You didn't. So like I'm saying, like this on both sides. This is probably like the most. We're about to probably walk into one of the most unpredictable seasons we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. But yeah, man. I feel like before we end, being that this is episode 0, we should kind of like get into why we started this podcast. You know what I'm saying? We have been talking about this for like a good 2-3 years, like this idea. It's like we'll just be in game chat talking about hoops, and we'll be on the phone talking about hoops. We be texting each other talking about hoops, and like, bro, we should really like do this for real. Like everybody, people should hear this, like stuff that we're saying. We're on social media, this, that, and third, and it's not even just anybody. Everybody think everything they say is gonna be that, but it don't be that. Like we really have educated talks. Like we're actually talking about shit. We're not just highlight watchers that's just pulling out results. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
So we wanted to have something that was, well, from my perspective, because I'm gonna let you share your perspective too, but like we just wanted to have something that we wanted to watch. You know what I'm saying? We gravitated towards people that's around our age talking the same type of hoops that we talking. You know what I'm saying? And being able to educate other people that may not even be into hoops like that, or they want to be but they don't know where to start, or they need like more of a breakdown on it but they too scared to ask. I feel like that's what we here for. We not here to talk about all the raw, like, who's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about no, I ain't gonna take no shots, but Ball DeRozan and all of that, bro. We not getting all into that. You know what I'm saying? We talking about real hoop shit. It's not just hoop shit. Let me say that. It's not just hoop shit. We will be covering football this season, covering other sports. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We might fuck around and be watching goddamn NASCAR this season. Watching soccer or something, bro. You never know, bro. You never know.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
I would say be on the lookout for probably boxing. That might be one of the ones that get added up in. But like I said, it's episode 0. We still here, you know what I'm saying? But what's your thoughts, bro? Like what was you thinking like when we came together to do this?
Yeah, it was just like you said, I just wanted to, hear somebody like me that was talking about the sport for real, because I know how it is, just listen. I'm not gonna say listening, but trying to like listen to go or get into the first take, and you're not that really into it, you know what I'm saying, or trying to get into the just those talk shows and they're going, you know what I'm saying, crazy. I'm not even gonna say crazy in depth. You will go in one day and they'll be, they'll go in the next day and it's who's the GOAT? And they in there with GOAT costumes. I don't care. They in there with GOAT costumes on and they in there acting the fool, man. Like, to be honest with you, we just here to give y'all straight just info about what's going on in the league. Like today, we don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that like you won't come on here and catch us in a debate on, but that's believe me. When you leave here, you gonna been and learn something, especially if you just new to the sport and you want to find somebody. I ain't gonna say who new to the sport because I ain't new to the sport, but if you just want to find somebody that you could connect with, ask some questions, you know what I'm saying, about it, and we could cover it like with no problem, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I definitely just wanted to just have something, that the average person can watch for real. You know what I'm saying? Like you just be sitting back on your couch watching us talk about the game we love, to be honest. And if you want that, you learning something throughout the process. That was really my whole mindset behind the podcast, for real.
What you feel like? What's your goals? You know what I'm saying? Like for this shit. Like, where we taking this shit, bro?
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I want to be like one of the most known like podcast streaming folks like on YouTube. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, of course, but at the same time, like, I promise I'll be doing this almost forever because it's just something that I love for real. Like, my goal, like, it's just I don't know, educate y'all and keep y'all like just keep a smile on y'all face and keep y'all lifted up for real. Like, while I'm talking about the game I love for real.
That
But how about your goals though?
shit, man. I'm trying to take this shit to the moon, bro. Like expand this shit as much as we can because it ain't too much of this like out there. You was talking about a few years ago, like JJ Reddit podcast. I was like, it's still a rarity. Like nobody really talking about hoops how he was talking about hoops. Like I'm glad he's out there coaching and using that knowledge and actually putting that shit to work. It's like damn, like he left a hole when he went up there. Then Mind the Game love that podcast. Like with him and with Steve Nash, Braun, and shit. When it was JJ and Braun, like
Yeah.
I would love to see more pods, more just anything media wise, really focus in. Like have a balance. Like you can have all that goofy ass shit because that's the era we in. So people are interested in that stuff. So I don't mean to call it goofy ass shit, but people are interested in that other stuff, the gimmicks and the goat talk and the clickbait and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But also have people that sit up there like they might not even have friends and they thinking of this stuff like they love basketball and you look to somebody to gravitate to and get these thoughts off and they thinking about how this would have worked and how this would work and what this look like. This and third. And they don't know if they have anybody that think like them. We can be those motherfuckers that think like them. And I always want to get to those people. I want to reach out to as many people as possible. That's really, really the goal. Make it as far as we can and maximize as much as we can and get our voices out there. Probably add some more voices, you know what I'm saying? Put some people on and get them going, you know what I'm saying? Get they shit going once we get on our real foot. But yeah, man, I feel like we had a real great episode. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? We had a trade happen in the middle of the shit, which I was not expecting at all. Hey, oh my god, traded back to the same team. He was just on for 5 seconds. Like he probably gonna be on that bit for 5 seconds, which is crazy. Got any closing things you gotta say or wanna say?
Hey, if you wanna ask a question, I don't care if it's what is a 2-3 zone. How do you break a 2-3 zone? I don't care what it is. If it's something related to hoops, like hoops, as of right now, we're gonna keep it at hoops and football. As long as it's something pertaining to that. And next episode we'll probably, you know what I'm saying, go over some stuff that happened in the NFL and all that. If you wanna ask a question, anything, bro, we human, bro. I promise. I'm gonna get back to you, bro.
Shit, you can reach us. All our names and links still gonna be in the bio, but you can reach me at iloveyouJASE that's everything. So iloveyouJASE. You can catch me on Instagram. I'm on X.com. No, I'm not on X. That's crazy. Don't clip that. On X.com. Gotcha, bro. All streaming platforms. This, that, and third. Like you can catch me there. I will respond. I'm not big headed. Even the further this go, I'm not gonna be big headed. We'll respond. We'll go ahead and chat it up. Got any questions? Anything you wanna, talk about? Add it down there in the comments. We'll get to it. We'll bring it up next video. Like I said, man, this is PROCONversations, episode 0, and we out.